Thank you for joining me on this episode of Highway Spec. My name is Trent. I'm going to do a hot take today, and this is mine. Alright, there are a lot of new vehicles being released right now as we are in the middle of the LA Auto Show. That said, on this channel, I spec out vehicles on the online car configurators, and it's a great time for me personally. However, there are currently 6 vehicles that I am just excited to spec out. And I do have to preface this that these are vehicles that are already announced. There are some vehicles that we know are coming, but aren't announced yet, so I can't put those on there like, say, the Corvette CR1. Starting from least excited to most excited, we're gonna start off this list with the Hyundai Santa Fe. Yes, the Hyundai Santa Fe, not a vehicle I've ever really been excited to spec out before. But this one, with its new boxy styling, is really unique, and I can't help but stare.
Stop staring.
There are a lot of elements that I really do like about the look of this vehicle, the rear end not being one of them. However, I think this vehicle could have a lot of potential, so I'd love to get my hands on the configurator to see what it would take to make a very cool Hyundai Santa Fe. Especially now that they've introduced the XRT trim level, which gives it a more rugged look. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know yet, but I do want to spec one out to see what it would be like. Next up on the list is the just announced Lucid Gravity. While I haven't been a huge Lucid fan in general, I do think the Gravity is actually going to be a great vehicle for Lucid to help bring them out of their constant money losing streak. And personally, I love the looks. I think it actually looks rather sharp, rather sleek, and it offers the practicality that I personally need for my family. Pricing has not been announced, and that is going to be a big caveat. They did say it will start under $80,000 for the base model, but we can expect it to go up and up and up from there. And the Lucid Gravity offering up to 440 miles of range is a pretty decent amount, and offering 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, not a bad deal for a 7-passenger SUV. You'd have to throw a lot of money at a Ford Explorer ST to get those kind of acceleration numbers. Next up on the list, we have the VW ID Buzz. Never did I think I would be excited about an electric minivan. But never say never, right? VW's ID Buzz has a ton of retro cues, and I think there's going to be a ton of customization that you can do to these vehicles. And for that, I am really looking forward to seeing how the different colors and the different options play out on this very unique vehicle. Although VW in general doesn't usually give you a whole lot of options, I think they're going to have to with the ID Buzz, with all the different configurations they've shown it in, with different accessories, and in other markets, even different wheelbases. So put that down on the list as number 4 of vehicles that I am most excited to spec out. Coming in at number 3, this is actually where it gets a little bit tough. There are 3 vehicles that I'm super excited to spec out, but which order they go in, that's hard to say. So I'm gonna go with my gut here and say I am most excited for number 3 to be the Toyota Tacoma. Now the Tacoma is one that I've been antsy to spec out. Not only do you have the hybrid option, you also do get a manual transmission option, plus they have the new Trail Hunter trim, they have the TRD Pro trim returning. There are a lot of different ways that you can spec out a Tacoma. At one point I had put my name on a list to order one of the new Tacomas, however I ended up buying another vehicle instead, so obviously I am excited to see what this new Tacoma is like. And honestly, you're going to see a ton of them on the road, so it only makes sense to see all the different options so I can sit there and spot and say, oh, that's that trim, oh, they skipped that option, because that's the kind of thing that I do. Number 2 on the list, another truck, and that is the 2025 Ram 1500. If you've been watching my YouTube shorts, you can see I've dedicated a lot of time to the Ram 1500, and that's because to me it's really interesting. Not only do you have the introduction of the inline-6 Hurricane motor, you get rid of any V8 option, they're coming out with a new trim level in the RHO, getting rid of the TRX, and of course they also have the Ram Charger, which is an electric truck with a V6 generator. I have a video linked here that you can see where I go more in depth about this vehicle and why I'm excited about it. Personally, I think it is the perfect option for an electric truck. Gives you all the electric torque without the range anxiety. Aside from the Ram Charger, the Ram 1500 itself has enough updates that I am really excited to sink my teeth into the configurator and find out how I would personally spec it and see how you would personally spec it. And number 1 on the list, you had to expect this coming because it is the Toyota Land Cruiser. The Toyota Land Cruiser is all new and slots below the LC300 model that we're familiar with here in the United States as the Lexus LX600. But the Land Cruiser sits in a unique place in that it is smaller, less expensive, and it does seem like it has the rugged capability for the Land Cruiser name. Plus you can get it stripped down, looking like a real base model, or you can have it gussied up and have it look like it's more comfortable on the streets of Southern California than up in the hills. So of course I want to put my hands on the keyboard and figure out how I would personally spec the Toyota Land Cruiser. And although I am excited to spec out the Lexus GX, which has the same drivetrain, I would much rather spec out the Toyota Land Cruiser because I think there are going to be more unique options, and of course it's going to be less expensive as well. What do you think of this list? Do you think it is thorough enough, or do you think I am missing some vehicles that I should be excited to spec out next year? Make sure to drop a comment below, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing and liking, and I will catch you on the next one.